how did you know about Odyssey? Oh, the meeting's being recorded. Cool. Thank you, Adriana. How did you know about Odyssey, and how long are you in Odyssey, and what is your role in Odyssey? And maybe, if you want, what is your expectations from Odyssey? So we can just one by one go, and then that will also help me call you by name, the real one. Like I said to Jana, hey Yaja, Yaja's my sister, so we know each other pretty well. Hello, everybody. So who'd like to start? Lazar, would you mind starting? Just tell a couple words about you.
All right, no problem. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Perfect. All right, so my name is Lazar. I'm from Belgrade, from Serbia.
Cool.
I'm a member, but I will sure start working as a Toastmaster, as a secretary in my club. And I'm very happy about it because this is my first official role. Sorry about the noise coming from my computer. It won't happen anymore. So basically, as I wrote in my introduction, within the Odyssey project, I'm a public speaking coach. I established my coaching business, and basically I need a mentor who can teach me how to improve my sales skills as well as the coaching skills related to public speaking.
I have.
Awesome. And how long are you in Odyssey?
Oh, I think I just started. I mean, I received the invitation within the newsletter, which was part of the Toastmasters District D110, because it's Belgrade. Yeah, Belgrade Toastmasters Club recently joined that district, so I was able to read that newsletter and discover the project. So it was about last week.
Wonderful.
Martin, Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Because Odyssey program is a beautiful program. It's a value program for all members of Toastmasters, and I think that contact with mentee with mentor should more better. I have very often problem with contact with my mentor. I have to write a lot of emails, and I don't receive answer from my mentor, and this is a problem.
That's something that we actually want to cover during the call. So I guess I invite you to stay along.
I need advices to speech, to preparing of speech, and I don't have contact with my mentor. Yes.
Right. So, like I said, we'll be touching on this, and then hopefully we'll be able to provide you some guidance and tips. So, how long are you in Odyssey? Can you remind us?
So very long, 24 long.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Do you mind just sharing a couple words about you?
Hello from Thessaloniki, Greece. I am currently VP of Public Relations for the local club. I've been with Toastmasters for a year, and this is my second participation in the Odyssey project, having taken a short break. My background is in education and human rights. Why have I joined Toastmasters? It's the same reason I would like to join and stay in the Odyssey project, to manage my introversion and explore resilience through presentation, delivering speeches. I would like to focus on impromptu speeches. I feel that I need to hone my skills in that direction. So I'm looking forward to a mentor who has that experience and has the patience to work with newcomers. Now, if there is a concern, that would be how much value or how much would experiences of newcomers be valued? What would be mentors that they are looking for? A question to be answered in the process. I am looking forward to tonight's event and the activities that would follow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Who else do we have? Nigora, if you can just like answer 2 questions. How long are you in Odyssey and what is your role in Odyssey? Are you a mentor? Are you a mentee? Or did you sign up as a networker?
Actually, I'm not part of Odyssey program yet, but I was curious how it works. That's why I joined this meeting to just look through it.
Cool. Anya, did you join Odyssey? Anya is from my club. That's why I'm addressing her directly. Did you join Odyssey yet?
Not yet, but yet is a good word. I would like to know something more about the program and probably join.
Cool. All right, Doris, can you tell us who are you in Odyssey and how long?
Hello, everybody. My name is Doris. I am from Peru, and I am a mentee. My mentor is for this next a month is Lori Hines. And the thing that I would like to know is, for example, in the case of if we have mentors, we can questions connected only with Toastmasters. It means the way we would like more how to deliver a speech, or for example, I would like to know more about Odyssey, yes, project. If it is whichever kind of questions we can ask our mentor, or if you have preparations or something like that to be part of Odyssey. I don't know a lot about Odyssey. Yes, that is the question.
All right, that's a great question. Thank you. All right, and last but not least, I can see Yuri. If you can just tell me if I pronounce your name correctly. How long are you in Odyssey and what is your role in Odyssey?
Surprisingly, you pronounced it correctly. I guess you have quite a good experience with other Yuris in Poland. I'm not in the program yet. This is, but this is actually my failure. Every time when I want to sign up for a new round, I'm just too late. So time management is one of my problems, of one of my targets that I am focusing at. But I'm interested also to find a mentor who would help me to build myself as a good leader.
Okay, cool. So just for you, I'll just put a link to our Odyssey page so that you can go ahead and register right now. If you like, we can just do it later. So it's just for your convenience. It's just a form just for the people who wants to learn more about Odyssey, because like we have half of the audience who's aware what's Odyssey Project and some of the people who are new. So just for you who are new, in Odyssey, you can sign up as one of the 3 roles. You can either sign up as a networker, and then we'll connect you with fellow Toastmasters from around the globe. You can network, like you just heard. You can have someone from Peru, you can have someone from Australia, China, Romania, Greece, and Finland, whatever. We're basically global organization, global initiative, global project. And then there are 2 more roles, and those roles are actually working together very well. Those roles are the mentor and the mentee. So you can either register as a mentor to help other people grow, or you can register as a mentee to find a mentor who will help you grow. And then registering to Odyssey can bring you several benefits that I'll be mentioning later. But one question that we usually get is Odyssey mentoring different than what you can achieve in the club? And this is the question that I'm sorry, I didn't record your name, but I think Doris, you asked this question, right?
Excuse me, I have questions.
Yes.
I have
Yes,
a couple.
yes.
Sorry, Adam.
I would take voice. I would present my opinion.
All right.
I would ask for what can say to mentor, what can ask for mentor, how a case can present in dialogue with mentor. Yes.
Right.
Right.
Like I said, that's something that we'll be touching on in more detail in a later stage in our meeting. So for now, it's kind of an introduction about like for the new people. Like if you notice, we have 5 people who are mentees in Odyssey who are already experienced Odyssey mentees, but also we have some people who are new to the project. So that's why I basically need to, before I answer your question directly, I need to make sure that everyone is comfortable in the call. So that's why we're going through the basics. So please keep your patience. I will answer your questions, or at least I'll try to answer your question. I'll try to give you some tips, some answers, and then let's hope that we find someone or some tips that are actually helpful for you. Yuri, I can see that your hand is raised.
I wanted to ask, can we go hard and be at the same time, mentor and mentee?
Yes, absolutely. Now, obviously, you won't be a mentor and mentee to the same person. That wouldn't make sense. But yes, absolutely. If you feel you're good enough to help other people with separate aspects, because this is something that Doris has asked. What should we work with our mentors? What are the questions that we should be asking? And how can our mentors help us? And Odyssey is a Toastmasters project, which means in Odyssey, if you remember the form that you were filling in the beginning, there are multiple skills that we ask people to select their interest. So you can say that I'm interested to develop my storytelling skills. You can say I'm interested to develop my body language. I'm interested to develop my, let's say you've just become an area director or club secretary or club president or whatever the leadership role would be. You can just say, I want to develop specifically in those areas. So that way we will just try to find you a mentor who is able to help you with storytelling or club president or whatever the skills are actually matching. So when we do the matching, we try to match the skills. So if you're strong in storytelling, and if you feel you can be a mentor for someone in storytelling, please absolutely do fill in the role and register as mentor. The more mentors we have, the more experience we have, and the more initiatives, the more concepts, the more ideas basically we have. So the more mentors, the better for us. Especially that in current Odyssey, there's actually a lack of mentors. We need more mentors, more people who are courageous enough to serve. Because if you remember Toastmasters values, it's respect, integrity, service, and excellence. And then the role of a mentor is basically the service. Obviously, the respect and excellence as well, but basically it's a role of service. So it ties directly to the Toastmasters values. So please absolutely do feel free to sign up as mentor. Now, there is a rule that we have in Odyssey that goes back to what Toastmasters is expecting. This rule is that you can be a mentor if you have completed at least 2 levels in Pathways, which means if you recall how Pathways is structured, you can see that on level 2, you have a project called Introduction to Mentoring. So I'm assuming that if you're introduction, if you're introduced to how mentoring works in Toastmasters, you're basically ready to be a mentor. So then level 2 completed, you can be a mentor. That's absolutely true. And then responding directly to Doris' question, what questions should we ask to our mentors? It's basically the questions about the topics that you selected. It's question about how do you structure your storytelling when you're doing your speech? How do you move on the stage, if that's one of your interests? What is your role as a club secretary? How to use Easy Speak? How to use Pathways program? Basically, all those questions you can ask to your mentor. And then a mentor is usually a person who's more advanced, more experienced than you in those topics. So you can just share your knowledge, you can share your experiences, and then obviously the person can guide you in whatever topic is relevant to you. So, Doris, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. But I have one more question, possibly.
Sure.
For example, here in Lima, our sessions in Toastmasters Club, we have at midday, it means on Thursdays. Okay. But I have now the problem that I cannot be present in these sessions. And all the levels, it means 1 or 2 levels that I have done already, what can I do to pass to another club that has sessions at night, for example? What can I do? Is it possible to know with my mentor or not? Or it is, I need to ask this question to the central office of Toastmasters?
It's a very good question. And I think Odyssey is playing a major part here, especially with the networking opportunity that we provide. Because in the networking, each month you get a new person from a different part of the globe. It might be your country, it might be country somewhere else. That means this person is actually having their own meetings. That means you can get into the meetings and you can visit Toastmasters Club all around the world. Like there's no limitation. If you think Odyssey, you think Toastmasters International. We put the international aspect of the organization to a very high level because we can say Odyssey International, right? So you basically, you're not limited to what happens in your club, in your country. You're open to the whole world. And if the time of the meetings that you're attending is not good for you anymore, you can just find another club. It can be an online club or it can be a regular club that provides like hybrid meetings. There's a lot of meetings that's happening across the world. If you want to like visit my own club, feel invited to do so. We're meeting in European morning, but I can provide you a list of a list of clubs that are meeting probably at the time that you're expecting. So I'll be in touch with you and then we can just follow up on this matter so that you can actually do the Pathways level and then you can become the mentor yourself.
Okay,
Does
thank
that
you.
work for you? Wonderful. Okay, so let me just, cool, thank you. So let me just explain you the one pitfall that sometimes happens when we send those emails. So 5 of you who are already registered Odyssey participants, the sailors, how we call you, you have received an email that should have happened on Tuesday, 2 days ago. And you know who is your pair. And what I've heard from you, all of you are mentees, so you have received an email saying your mentor is this person, or saying that unfortunately this time we didn't find you a mentor. That sometimes happens. We try to make it not happen. That's why we encourage you to take the role of a mentor. But yeah, that's basically what happens. You know who is the person who you need to contact. Now, a good question could be, if you're a mentee, should you initiate contact or should you wait for your mentor to initiate contact? And one advice then, Adam, that's something that can actually help you. One advice that I can give you is that in Odyssey, we always tell about the benefits of the platform. So you can have the understanding of different cultures. You can meet new people. You can do a lot of great stuff in Odyssey with your mentor or with your networking partner. But there's also some things that you can bring to
Yes,
make your experience.
bringing to speech. I have really wishes to my mentors. I would, for example, concrete comments preparing to my speech mainly,
Right.
and yes, this is for me the most important in mentoring.
Right. Right. So if I just think about what you can bring as a mentee to make your experience successful, the first thing that I would think about is courage.
I show my speech. I show my speech, and I show part of my speech for mentor, and I we let discuss with my mentor what can I do better in my speech.
Right.
This
So
is my imagination of mentoring.
before you bring your speech, you need to make your initial contact. So you have received an email saying your mentor is this person. Now, this person has also received an email saying, okay, Adam is your mentee. Now, how I imagine the things work, and sometimes they do work this way. And let me just tell you a story real quick about an unsuccessful mentoring relationship. In my own club, there was a situation that we assigned a mentor to a person who was shy. And this shy person has never had the courage to contact their mentor. Now, the mentor was saying, I'm open, I'm waiting. And if they have any questions, they can just come to me and ask these questions. So it actually happened for like 3 months. And then after this time, one mentor was open, was waiting, and one mentee was shy and was not courageous enough to speak to their mentor. And funnily enough, or actually it was not funny, they both left the club because the mentoring relationship just didn't work. So what I imagine should work to avoid situations like this, as a mentee, you should think about how do you want this relationship to work? How do you want this relationship to like benefit you? What do you expect your mentor to help you with? Is it speech development? Is it storytelling? Is it body language? Is it facial expressions? Is it just the overall structure and the goal of your speech? Like, what do you think is missing in your speech? Because that can help your mentor to say, okay, I can help you with that, and let's focus on this, and then let's try to measure if we're successful. If you're if you're a mentor, I would imagine that as a mentor, you're actually preparing, you're actually thinking about, okay, who my mentee is. So at least read the initial email and then maybe send an encouraging email to them saying,
Marcin, I show always my personality, my actuality, my company project, yes, my
right,
skills, yes, and I show my waiting from mentors, my exceptions for from mentor, yes.
right.
And
But hold on. Before there's your exceptions, before you send your speech, before you send your expectations to your mentor, you need to agree on a certain rules. Because in order to say, I mean, Toastmasters is voluntarily organization. If you have a mentor in your club, then obviously it's easier for you to make contact because you can just approach them during a break and then just start talking to them. In order to say, it's a little bit harder, or it's actually easier because you don't need to speak to anyone. You just need to send an email. And then in the email, you need to think about what do you want your mentor to help you? And then if you have this specified, you just send an email to your mentor. And then at the same time, I would imagine your mentor is sending an email to you because sometimes as a mentee, the only thing you need is encouragement. When I joined Odyssey, I was actually very confused about what was happening. The system was much less user-friendly, I would say. And I signed into Odyssey and then I forgot about it. And I received an email saying, oh, here is a mentor, and then we can work together. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? So sometimes it's just a matter of encouraging a person to send this first contact, and then say, maybe I'm available on Thursday, maybe we can talk in the evening or something. So that first approach is a good step for us to decide the ways of working, because then you can say, okay, we meet like once every 2 weeks or once a month, and then we progress on these specific goals. So goal setting is also an important part of the Odyssey. So I would imagine that.
I know. I understand
So,
your advices. I know. I try show very concrete, very very good my exceptions, yes, and I present my my recording of my speech, my way.
yeah, but hold on, before you show your speeches and before you show your recordings and your expectations, do make sure that you propose the ways of working. Do make sure that you propose that you want to meet like once every month to discuss your progress, because that's when your mentor can decide what works for them. Is once every month enough for them, or maybe you need to meet once every 2 weeks, or maybe you need to meet once you make a speech. And now, important thing that is always asked is, how long does the mentoring relationship work? Because some people think, and I was thinking the same way when I joined Odyssey, is that you get a mentor for a month, and then the next month your mentor is changing. That's not how it works. The mentoring relationship works as long as the mentor and the mentee agrees to continue. So my own mentoring relationships, one was 8 months, one was over a year, one was 2 months. So it all depends on the current goals and what you decide to continue, or whom you decide to continue with. So it all depends with you. So there's no limitation. We don't say the mentoring relationship should end in like a month or 3 months or a year. It can just be as long as you want. So there's no limit here. The only thing you need to do, and that's something that you actually need to remember, is that at the end of the round, because the process is structured in rounds, at the end of the round, you will receive an email saying, hey, there's a feedback. Why we asked for the feedback? Well, actually, what do you think is a successful mentor? Just think about this for a second. And if you think about it for a second, you realize that what happens when you do the mentoring relationship is that two people talking to each other with no supervision, and we basically don't know what's happening. It's all mystery. So to uncover this mystery a little bit and to understand what's successful mentoring relationship, we ask for the feedback in the end. So that's actually a good indicator for us about, are you engaged in Odyssey? Because the only thing you need to do is to say, I want to continue in the project, and then provide us some feedback about how your role was going. So that's the only thing we demand, because if you don't fill in the form, you can actually be considered a person who a life situation might have changed.
Yes,
you might not be active.
I have good relationship with my mentor, with Dagmar Kundekova, with Halia Kurt. I have very friendly relationship. I have very valuable advices, and only problems that seems in the Odyssey project is the good contact, is easy contact with a mentor. Yes, this is problem for me.
Right, and that is a problem if you define it so for yourself, because you have your own expectations, but maybe you want to ask your mentors if expectations of them is the same. Maybe you want to meet twice a month. Maybe they only want to meet once a month. You need to be on agreement of the ways of working that you are actually having. So just make sure that you propose something in your first initial email. And let's say, this is my speech. Can you review it, please? And then maybe we can meet this week, or maybe we can meet, may meet like once a month to discuss this, or once I produce a new speech or something. Maybe that will help. So stating clearly your expectations will not make your mentor surprised, because when you send them like 5 speeches or 10 speeches or whatever the number could be, they could just be scared and they could just be saying, okay, maybe I need to work with some other mentee. So instead, just state what you expect from this relationship clearly, and then just see if your mentor agrees to the things that that you propose. If they don't, maybe the mentor will propose something else. Maybe you can work it out together. So just make your initial contact. Don't wait for your mentor to call you. But actually, if you're a mentor, do remember that your mentee may be shy and they may be scared to contact you, or they may be confused about things. So you, as experienced Toastmaster, you should help. Going back to the Toastmasters values, the service one, just make sure that you're comfortable in this relationship as a mentor, as a mentee, or as a networking person. Okay, so I think we've covered most of the basics of the Odyssey project. We know who can you register as a networker, as a mentor, as a mentee. You know the rules to become the mentor. You know what questions you can ask your mentor and how long the relationship can work in Odyssey. And I just told you there is no limit. You can work as long as you want, as you both agree to. You know that you need to fill in the feedback after the round. You have some tips in how to approach your mentor, not to scare them away. And yeah, I guess that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. I also mentioned to you that it is not an easy task to define a successful mentoring relationship. So that's why we ask feedback. That's why we not only we want to provide a mentoring platform, we also want to make mentors grow as mentors so that they can serve the mentees better. When I first joined Toastmasters as a mentor, I was a terrible person. I was a terrible mentor. The first thing I did was a Wikipedia dump. Like, I told everything I knew to my mentee, and she basically needed to absorb it. She didn't even have a choice because I didn't even let her speak. That was not something I should do. So it's something we learn. Mentoring is a process, not only for the mentee, but also for the process. Yuri, I can see your hands raised.
Yes, thank you. I have a rather technical question because
Sure.
I've been looking through the form, and it says that the age is kind of required field. So
yes,
can you explain it to me? Why do you require us to give their exact birthday, for example? I can understand the phone number and other things, but the things like this.
Yeah, that the age is required at this moment just for the matchings. So we found that sometimes the best matchings are not only with skills, but also we also ask you to provide us the times that you can meet. So usually we just try to find a best set of settings for a person. If you're not comfortable in providing us the real birth date, just provide us the like random numbers, and then if you can just make sure that the year of your birth is relatively close to what's the real birth, so that our system is actually matching you based on those properties. So we don't require it to be a specific birth date, although.
But that's the point. Sometimes people might be misjudged by their age, and this is something that I would like to eliminate. Because
yes.
I have no problem. I have no issue against being paired with a much older person. I know it from experience from other clubs that if you know the Serial Junior Dean, his mentor is a much older lady from America, from Great Britain, and right. I think he got a lot of really good advising job from her. So this should not be an issue.
Yes, and just to clarify, there are some parameters that are important in the matching parameters in the matching algorithm, and there's some parameters that are much less important. And age is definitely one of the least important things. It's also for us to like understand who we're talking to and stuff like that. Just for you to know, this will no longer be required in one of the future releases of the Odyssey project, because this is still a platform that we're upgrading, so it will no longer be required in the future. So don't worry about that.
Sorry to interrupt. So just a short addition. Actually, the age is not visible to your match. It's only in the system visible.
Yeah, obviously I didn't introduce Adriana because she was in the car. Adriana is the mastermind and the mother of Odyssey. So she's the main person responsible for this project. That's why I didn't call.
Yeah, when I'm in the car, I'm no longer mother. But good to see you all here, and welcome to this call. And I'm happy to see that you are interested to see how Odyssey works. But yeah, floor is yours, Marcin.
We're 8 minutes meeting already. What else do you have in mind? Like I already told a lot. What other questions would you have? Like maybe how do you want to start your mentoring or networking relationship, stuff like that? What else can I help to make your journey successful? Because the title of the meeting is Successful Journey. So what else do you need?
I'm just wondering if it would be possible for participants somehow to see the list of mentors that are registered, like before we are actually matched to them. And then if we could see who they are, maybe we could somehow choose, or somehow let's say that we could choose some preferences. And we could say, okay, I think I mean,
definitely discuss this. Nigora, I can see your hand being raised.
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any system, something similar to Pathway with the levels and projects in Odyssey program or not?
Well, basically, you're delivering your Pathways projects. So Odyssey is not separate to Toastmasters. Odyssey is totally in line with what happens in Toastmasters. So you basically have a mentor, and then your mentor should help you deliver your Pathways projects, if that's something you choose. So you basically follow the Pathways projects to work in Odyssey. Does this answer your question? Cool. All right, Lazar, back to you. One more thought that I thought could be useful. If you want to make sure that your mentor is helping you with the skills that you really want to work on, like let's say you're very interested in storytelling, but you also become a club president. So you just decide, you basically know how the club president works, but you really want to work as a storytelling person. Then maybe don't select the club president, and that will make your storytelling stand out much more. Because right now we can potentially give you a person who's very experienced club president, but may have not so much experience in storytelling. So the more important the skill for you is, the less skills should you select during the filling of the form. Because then obviously if you select everything, we'll give you a lot of mentors, but you will not know what to work with them. So just select the skills that you really want to work with your mentor.
All right, so for how many of them? Maybe up to
You can select as many as you want.
Yeah, but what is the recommended amount of skills?
Okay, so let me just answer the questions a little bit different. The more skills you select, the better chance of you to getting a mentor in one of them.
All right.
But the least skills you select, the more chance your mentor is actually focusing on the skill you really want to work with. So there might be a chance that in this round, there is not a person who is specialist in storytelling. So instead of giving you someone who is experienced in club president, we'll just give you no one, unfortunately, because there's no one available for storytelling. But then in the next round, your chances of getting a mentor in storytelling are actually increasing. So it's just a balance. Like there's no limit. You can select whatever you want. But like I said,
yes, yeah,
if you want, if you jump on the
I
mentor,
understand now. Maybe I should select 1 or 2 skills. I think I picked 3 or 4. Anyway, yeah, I contacted my mentor and we already established the meeting time. It should be on, yeah, it should be on Saturday. So we'll see how the things are going to develop.
Brilliant. And if you're interested, if for any reason you want to change any of your detail in your registration form, just go to the link I've sent you. Just go to this link here, or maybe I'll type it again. So it's tm.odyssey today. Select the registration, select the register button. And then in the register button, you'll actually see another register button, and it will actually drive you to show your registered properties, your skills, your levels. So say, you remember that we are asking how experienced are you as a Toastmaster? So are you pathways level 1, pathways level 2, and stuff like that?
Yes.
These things change, right? So whenever you complete a level, feel free to go back to the Odyssey and just say, oh, I completed level 3. Oh, I completed level 4, stuff like that. So that we maybe
so basically
can
I need
celebrate
to sign in to my profile and then change.
Right, exactly. It all stays in the database, and then you can update this as many times as you want. Just know that once the matchings are done, like your changes will be taken into consideration within the next round, because obviously once the matchings are completed.
In case I don't find my mentor fit with me, I'm available to apply for another mentor in the next round, right?
If that happens, that's a good question. Let me just explain a little bit more. If that happens, at the end of the round, you'll receive a feedback link. In the feedback link, you can say that I want to continue in Odyssey. That will tell us that you're available, you have made contact with your mentor, and then maybe your mentoring relationship didn't work the way you expected. And then in the feedback, you can say, my mentoring relationship was, and then you can assess how was your mentoring relationship, what
Does the mentor have the same choice?
Yes. So both of you need to agree to continue. So if you as a mentee want to continue with the mentor, but the mentor doesn't want to continue, or the mentor didn't feel the feedback, then you also will be assigned a new mentor. So that will be that needs to be mutually agreed decision that you're actually continuing to the next round. That happens most often. It's just a rare occasions that people are not like happy with the mentors. But I could proudly say that our matching skills algorithm is usually good enough that people are happy with the mentoring relationships. And most of the feedback that we receive is a positive feedback against the system and against the relationship that we provide them the chance to start. So yeah, absolutely. You can just select whatever you want to continue as a mentor, as a mentee, right? Okay. What else would you like to know? So most of you are mentees, or most of you are considering to join as mentees. I have some 4 ideas on what to bring as a mentee. So obviously you may have your own questions about, I mentioned storytelling a million times during this call, just because I'm actually focusing on storytelling. So if you get myself as a mentor, we'll definitely be talking about storytelling. So you have your own questions. You may have your own speeches that you want your mentor to evaluate. You can have your own situations, maybe as a club leadership position. Maybe you were a club president, have had some experience that you want to discuss with your mentors, the way you handle the situation and how the mentor could advise you to handle the situation in the future. Maybe you have some favorite speakers. Maybe you want to discuss the world championships and who do you think should won the world championships, who did won and why did they won. Maybe you have some questions about how to do evaluation. I remember I was doing like my 50th evaluation or something, and my hands was shaking so much, I couldn't read my notes. Like literally, I was like, shh, everything was shaking. And that was the moment I decided I stop using notes. I'll just do evaluation by right from my head. And I couldn't address my stress, but I thought I just need to give more structure to my evaluation. So maybe that's something you want to discuss with your mentor. So that's everything that you can send in your introductory email saying, I want to work on these things, because that's something that actually interesting to me. So that's addressing something that I said, not only you can take from Odyssey, but also bring to Odyssey to make your journey a successful one. Great. Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss? Do you know what to do now? Most of you are mentees, so I'm assuming you either contacted your mentors already or are planning to do so in the next maybe hour, maybe day, maybe by the end of the week.
Yes, it has been clear, taking the initiative to confirm that I am taking things away. It has been very clear and very helpful.
Cool. All right, please use our group. If you have any questions, if you need any information, there's an Odyssey Project group. There's an Odyssey Project fun page on Facebook where we try to publish some useful materials. We were actually publishing materials very regularly. Now it actually is not so regular. We're basically promoting these orientation calls where we try to give you this information like these. But hopefully that will be, like I said, mentoring is a process not only for mentees, but also for mentors, not only to develop as a speaker or a leader, but also to develop as a mentor. So experiences, situations, and knowledge about mentoring is something that you'll be able to find in the group and in the fun page. So I do recommend that you check them out. Thanks, Ajana.
May I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Is the time zone actually the criteria for matchmaking process?
In the form, you
Yes.
select when is your available time to meet. And this available time is specified to your time zone. And yes, this is one of the features that we actually do match you based on the time zone and based on the time that you're available. Or should.
No, this is the reason why I'm asking that question.
Okay.
For example, I'm maybe it's not just appropriate, but I would like to say my perspective.
Okay.
My let's say aspirations are to break to the UK and the US markets.
Right.
And yes, and then I'm wondering, if the time zone is not set into the UK or the US one, but the mine that is the the Central European Standard Time, maybe I won't be assigned the mentor from the country which I would like to tackle the most. That's my concern, nothing else.
Right, and to address this concern, we basically don't try to find you a time zone person, because that will limit your availability for people like UK or US or whatever that would be that you're looking for. That's why we're saying you want to work with those people. Like, what is the time that you can meet? Some people can just meet on Saturdays, for example, and then we just need to find another person who is available on Saturday. So if there's a concern on your end, you just need to calculate what's the most probable time for the UK guys to have free time, and maybe just calculate, I don't know, UK evening. Maybe it's like 6 p.m. UK. Just think what's 6 p.m. UK in your time zone, and just say you're available at this time. Maybe that will be 3 a.m. at night for you. I'm not sure, but maybe you're able to find something that actually overlaps the UK customers. I'm used to saying customers, but Odyssey
Yeah.
UK users.
Thanks for the feedback. It's very appreciable. I think I will definitely consider this.
Yeah, so just think about evenings, just think about mornings, because people are usually like work morning shifts or evening shifts, and then just think what works for you best. All right. Is there anything else? If there's nothing else, thank you for joining. I'm hoping that I've shared some information with you that actually is useful. And like I said, find me on fanpage, find me on the Friends Facebook group. You'll be able to ask questions, maybe share your testimonials, maybe share your experiences, maybe share some photos. We're actually looking for photos from you, your mentor, maybe share with us the goal that you're working towards. Like maybe you want to be a better club secretary or club president, or maybe the storytelling is the way for you to go. And then maybe you can just get some collective knowledge about stuff that are actually happening for you. Ask about mentoring questions, like what's the mentoring processes, how a mentee can help, because mentoring relationship is not only on the mentor. Like, mentor is not only responsible for the mentoring relationship to be successful. Mentee should also contribute to this relationship. So maybe something that can help others to make this relationship successful, and then have a successful journey, not only for you, but basically for everyone. So with that, I'd like to wish you a good evening, good afternoon, good morning for whomever you joined. Thank you for joining, and see you on the next one.
Thank you.
And then, if you like, we can just stay a little bit more for some informal discussions, if you like. But like, I can officially close the meeting.